So, I do want to introduce our next guest. Is that how we're doing it?
Sure.
I didn't know whether you were just going to walk in or whether.
No, bring me in. Let's make it official.
All right, then. Let's
do it. Let's do this like gentlemen, the way gentlemen do things.
All right. Well, we have a very special drop-in guest.
That's right.
He just came by. He hasn't been on the show in a year. I believe.
Been a while.
And I heard him coming down the hall. He's got a very loud voice, and let me
It's
just
not
go through.
so much that my voice is loud; it's that I'm yelling.
Let me go down your credits. You started off as a young man creating a TV show called Happy Days.
Before that, I did stuff.
What'd you do before then?
I wrote on the golden age of television, Scott.
Really?
On your show of shows, I think I wrote on.
Well, we'll check that, certainly.
Absolutely. I'll research it. I'm pretty sure, though.
But then your claim to fame is, or your first claim to fame was Happy Days. You made a second claim to fame with Laverne and Shirley.
That's right.
Then you made a third claim to fame with Mork and Mindy.
That's correct.
Then you tried to make a fourth claim to fame with Joni Loves Chachi.
Yeah.
And then you somehow illogically segued into becoming a major motion picture director.
I think by accident.
What kind of
I don't remember even now why that happened. Somehow I ended up directing a picture called Young Doctors in Love, which was supposed to be a fun airplane-style spoof with a bunch of jokes and everybody's running around and, it's not a movie that people saw. It's a few people saw it, and the few people that did said bad things about it.
So now normally when this happens...
I think it's the only movie exclusively seen by critics. No civilian ever saw it. That's in show business. We call people that are not in show business civilians sometimes. It's for fun.
So now, then, normally what would happen is you would never get another chance to direct another motion picture.
I would have been washed up.
You'd be in director's jail, as they say.
Yeah, which is like, that's a term. It's not a real thing. There's not like a jail where directors go. Sometimes there should be, I think.
Sure. Well, like for Roman Polanski?
Oh, that guy. Look, he made some great art. Everybody likes his pictures, but the guy statutory raped a girl. That's not good. That's not what this is all about, this business.
Just directing. Yeah,
it's supposed to be for fun.
Okay, so then you got out of director's jail and somehow directed Pretty Woman.
Somehow directed it. I directed it. What are you talking about?
I mean, lightning struck.
Yeah, lightning. What do you mean?
Well,
I started agreeing with you, and then I realized I don't know where this guy's headed.
Well, I mean, just your cinematic style is very simple and doesn't, you're the director of Young Doctors in Love, and then all of a sudden you have directed one of the biggest motion pictures in the world.
Thank you for saying so. It took long enough. Yes, I directed Pretty Woman. I think nobody wanted to. They said, hey, Happy Days. That's what they called me. It's insulting, but I took it as a compliment because it was a successful show. They said, hey, Happy Days. They threw the script. It hit me in the chest and fell on the ground.
And they made you pick it up?
No. I picked it up of my own volition. Nobody makes Garry Marshall. But that's my name, by the way. I don't know if my name was said.
So, yeah, we should say this has been the longest introduction, I believe.
Hey, everybody, attempted. It's me, Garry Marshall.
Garry Marshall is here.
Thank you for your applause. Thank you for them.
But you went from Pretty Woman, where you discovered Julia Roberts, if one can call seeing someone in Mystic Pizza and putting them in a movie.
The Dick Van Dyke Show I wrote on.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking of, which is about a guy who writes for a show like your show of shows.
It's been a long time, though, since you did it.
It's a million years ago now. Come on, I'm almost dead.
But speaking of almost dead, you're directing a new picture.
That's right.
Called New Year's Eve.
Look, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Last year, I had this picture out called Valentine's Day. It comes out on Valentine's Day. It's a huge hit. It's got an all-star cast. And now I'm directing this new picture. It's about another man-made holiday that doesn't mean anything. It's called New Year's Eve. Do you get it?
I do get it.
What do you think it's about? If you had to guess.
Do I have to guess?
Yes, you have to.
Okay.
You have to guess.
I would guess it's about a ragtag group of people who are experiencing varying degrees of different human emotions, and they all solve their problems on one single night, New Year's Eve.
You're very close. They are not a ragtag group. It's a nice group, very organized, of attractive people. Get a load of this cast that I got.
Okay.
Maybe you heard of Robert De Niro?
Yes, from Machete.
Hot young actor. That's right, from Machete. Maybe you know the famous actor Frankie Muniz.
From Malcolm and the Middle?
Isn't it Malcolm or the Middle?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah. John Bon Jovi's in this movie.
John Bon Jovi.
The Bobby Soxers are going to go crazy once this guy walks on the screen with his beautiful hair. Ashton Kutcher.
The Kutch back.
My old Valentine's Day star.
Is he playing the same character?
Yes, I think he's going to reprise his role as the guy from Valentine's Day, and his life continues on into December. And then we check back in with him later on.
So he's still a florist, I would imagine. One doesn't give up a job like that.
If that's what he was in Valentine's Day, that's what he is now. He's got to deal with all the New Year's Eve flowers orders that are coming in. It's New Year's Eve, I need flowers for my significant other.
That I can give to them at midnight.
Now this gay marriage opens up a whole new world of floral arrangements. So this guy, he's very busy with flowers.
Who's gay? Who's not?
Who that? Oh, I wish there was once they make a holiday called Gay Marriage Day. That's my next picture.
Really?
So I'm waiting. I'm not making, like some people make that pledge. They're not getting married until everybody can get married. I'm not making another picture until gay marriage is legal and I can make a movie about it.
Now, Al, you're married.
I am.
You didn't make that pledge that Gary was talking about.
Why didn't you sign the pledge out?
I'm gay, married to my wife, Suzanne.
Oh, okay, great. And Tom, you are...
I'm married.
You're married.
Oh.
And so why do you hate gay people so much that you would...
Why didn't you sign the pledge, Tom?
I'm on the East Coast.
Oh, okay,
It must
that
have
makes
just
sense.
been like a California thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Guys, do you have any questions for Gary here? I mean, it's not often...
Ask me anything about my whole storied career, about my personal life, about stuff I think about astrology, about predictions for the future, about birthday cake wishes I've made, anything you want.
Well, I wanted to always know about when on Happy Days.
Yeah.
Originally, Fonzie.
Yeah. So
Well,
cool.
He was cool.
He was a cool guy.
I didn't even think you needed to say that. It's kind of...
I can't help when I think of him. I just think how cool he is.
Uh-huh. He wore a blue windbreaker for like the first 5 episodes.
It was a powder blue windbreaker. That's right.
Yeah. And then what led to the leather jacket that became so iconic?
Well, look, everybody knows this story. Standards and practices at the time, they said he can't be wearing the leather jacket while he's on or near the motorcycle. People will freak out and kill the whole families. It'll be like, what's that guy? The Marine guy, he killed his whole family, blamed it on the lady with the floppy hat.
John Wayne Gacy?
No.
Gomer Pyle?
Was it Gomer Pyle? It might have been. The guy that Gomer Pyle was based on.
Ah.
It was this guy.
Do you think
Jeffrey McDonald.
Do you
Jeffrey
think Gomer
McDonald.
Pyle was trying to, by the way, turn into Captain Marvel every time he said Shazam? In like a vain wish?
It's worth a shot, right? Let's all try it now. Shazam!
Shazam.
No.
Nope.
No.
I'm just me, Garry Marshall.
Well, that's not so bad.
It's not so. Hey, it could be worse.
Yeah. You'll notice I didn't say it
Why didn't you?
because I don't want to freak you all out.
Are you saying you're Captain Marvel?
Can't say.
Oh, Tom,
I just can't say.
what a movie this would be if you would let me make your story after people can get gay married.
So people were afraid of the hooliganism.
They thought they see this guy, he's got a leather jacket. and he's near a motorcycle, the world is coming to an end. Surely he's, I don't know, communist? What were people afraid of back then? This was the 70s, pretending to be the 50s.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, the people that were upset about it, they were so in character about the 50s, they got scared of this guy.
Yeah.
So then after a while, everybody forgot to be afraid of such things, and so we could have him in the leather jacket everywhere.
And that jacket now is...
Also, we stopped showing the motorcycle so much, so who cared?
So you were able to get away with the jacket not being next to the motorcycle.
That's right. Once let's say he's in Arnold's, right? And he's just having a hamburger sandwich, and he's telling people, let's conduct business in the bathroom.
Which was his office.
His office, yeah, that's right. So, what's cooler?
Yeah.
So,
he never ate lunch in his office, though. A lot of people eat lunch in their office. That would be weird.
Yeah, that would be a little strange, like the shit smell.
Yeah,
that wouldn't work.
There was a sign over the sink that said, "You cannot eat in here. It's a bathroom." So that's why...
As there are usually signs of that ilk in every bathroom in the United
people
States.
gotta be reminded, don't eat it here. It's a bathroom.
I got one of those signs on my own home. It's very helpful.
It's like, there's a crass expression that people use to say why you don't date at the office, and then this would be the reverse of that expression.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe
I don't like
Fonzie had an expression just like, "Hey, you don't date at the office." Whenever anyone whipped out a sandwich in his bathroom.
That's right. That's why you never saw him with a girl in the men's room, because it's inappropriate business practices.
Al, do you have a question?
I do. Obviously, you were...
Tom, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Al.
I'm very curious because I know that you're very instrumental in your show of shows, and I've heard so many wonderful anecdotes.
It turns out I'm not. A cursory glance at
What
my
was-
IMDb
what was Neil
page
Simon
showed,
like?
Oh, I imagine he's a nice guy.
Well, I was gonna ask, if you had more involved in your show of shows,
Oh, if only, right?
what was Sid Caesar really like?
I imagine he would have been like a bit of a taskmaster when it came to the comedy, but of course he was an artist that we all respected and loved, I'm assuming.
I would make the same assumption, frankly.
Great.
Ask me about other shows I didn't work on and what it would have been like if I had. I like this. I like this game.
What about the show Flow?
Flow is a spin-off of Alice. I know from spin-offs, right? I created some of the most successful spin-offs in television history, and Joni Loves Chachi, which you were unkind enough to point out. But Flo, she was a fun character on Alice. Kiss my grit, she told everybody. She didn't take any guff from the short order cook who yelled at everybody. So they said, logically, let's give her her own TV show. Let's see what she's like with other people who don't wear little hats. And let's see if they get the same treatment from Flo.
See if anyone takes her up on her offer to kiss her grits.
No one ever did. It was the one hung over the whole series. Will Flo get her grits kissed?
I
What's
remember
going to
the
happen?
show ended. It was canceled before they could do their final episode, where who played the diner person, Vic Tayback, before he.
That's right.
Yeah, before he actually kissed her grits, he was going to kiss her grits in the final episode.
He's no longer with us. It's very sad. If only we could have had a Flo reunion. Maybe
where she basically dropped trow, bent over, and then he kissed her grits.
I'm not sure where anatomically the grits are.
The metaphorical grits?
I don't know. Look,
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bronx. I don't know from grits. Anyway, so Flo, they plotted out that whole series. They did a better job than the people from Lost. They knew exactly where it was going the whole time. But as you say, tragically canceled before the grits kissing episode could air.
Great question.
Thank you.
Can I ask?
Oh, that was my question.
Tom.
Happy Days question.
You're welcome.
I am going to ask a question about a show you did have some involvement in.
Okay.
You notice on Happy Days started off in the 50s. It took place in the 50s.
That's right.
Great question.
But there was a... Thank you. That's
Spun off from a vignette on Love American style.
Yes.
but also influenced heavily by American Graffiti.
Oh, we ripped it off.
Oh, right.
Yeah, use some of the same people. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
It seemed that the creeping influence of the 70s, though, where it seemed like Chachi
Yeah.
just had hair like a kid in 1978 had.
That's right.
But it was still 1959.
Yeah. Even pushing it into the early 60s was kind of fudging it a little bit.
Yeah.
If a guy like that walking around with that haircut, they would have kicked the hell out of him if they saw him.